Hey my friends, welcome back. Now today, you guys know what this is. This is the Congo tank. Truthfully, the Congo tank is going to have to wait till almost springtime for weather to be a little bit better before we can do the things that we really want to do with this tank. We got certain fish in mind. You guys probably remember what they are. We just got to wait for warmer weather. But before we get there, you guys know about the other fish that are out there in the quarantine tank? The buffalo heads and that really cool catfish. They're ready to come over here. There's been zero issues. But before we can do that, I want to change something in this tank. Certain things I don't like. One, we've got that cyanobacteria blue algae that's growing on a lot of the different Anubias and stuff like that. So I've ordered the stuff to take care of that. But that's not the bigger issue. The bigger issue is that I want to take out a large percentage of the gravel and I want to add in some sand. I want to add in a certain type of sand. I could probably just go to my local home store and I could get some stuff like river sand. It'd probably work totally fine. But because where I live, and most of the stuff that's sourced around where I live is going to be of a limestone or something that's going to derive nature, that's going to impede or affect the water chemistry. And being the fact that we have a cement-like product for the background that we made for this tank, I think I want to avoid that. Saw that beautiful little Nanochromis. That's the boy that came out there a second ago. And there's the, well no, there's the boy. The girl was just there. They're such awesome fish. I love this blue, the blue flash on these incredible African Characins. So, to get the sand that we want, we got to go visit my friend, Mr. Spencer Jack, over at the Afisionados. Ready for a road trip? Well, let's go. This is actually the gravel from the tank. I actually took a little handful of gravel, so it's still wet, so it give me a true example of what it looks like at home. And that's the gravel. If you can see it, it's not black. It's got some green tones and some brown tones and stuff. I just stuck it in the little Java Moss container at the shop here, so I didn't have to walk around with a fish bag in my hands, but gives you an idea of what it actually looks like. And that's the kind of gravel that we're looking at to match. So let's go take a peek and see what he's got for sands. Now I've shown it in other videos. He's got, this is a JBL product. This is, I think it's called Mando or something like that, Monado. And this is basically like similar to like a plant laterite type product, similar to the one that you see by Seachem called fluorite. And then he also has a bunch of different gravels or substrates from Sarah, and these are more gravels. Granted, they're fairly fine gravels in regards to their textures, but he's got all the colors and stuff like that that some people may wish. More of that Mando, and then he's got some dark Mando, so different types of substrates, very similar to what we were talking about with the laterite type products and stuff. And then he's got different types of substrates, and these are the more natural type substrates and stuff. So this one's the ochre by Sarah, but these are more gravels. And granted, they're fine, but these are gravels. This is without question. This is actually very, very similar. A bit more brown and less green than maybe the one that I have, but this is an absolute outstanding looking substrate. We got white, we got gray, but we're not looking for gravel, we're looking for sand. And all the sands are over here. So I had some ideas of what I wanted in mind. So he's got this one here. This one's called the gray. And basically the nice thing about these products, this JBL Zanzibar, is that this little color swath here is a little bit different from here. This is basically what the substrate looks like when it's wet. But this is that kind of salt and pepper. This is 100% natural substrate, but the salt and pepper look is not really what I'm looking for. So that one's out. This one here they call orange. And according to Spencer, this one here looks identical to the beaches and the sands that you would experience when he's collected in places like Suriname. It's just a beautiful, beautiful natural color. And for the fish pictured on here, I think these are two perfect endemic South American species that would look ideal on that. That one is potentially a candidate, and it does come in a bigger bag, so it comes in 5 kilogram bags, and it comes in 10s. And then we've got one here called white, and it's kind of a creamy color white. I definitely don't want that. I don't want white, and I don't want black. This one here is called red. And it's more of another natural looking substrate. It looks almost like a crushed granite, but when it's wet, it's got kind of red pigments and stuff. It reminds me of the beaches in Bermuda. So that's another option. And then we have dark, which is a black, and I don't really want that either. That's similar to what a lot of the people like putting in their tanks for showing off certain fish. Now this is unlike, say, like a lot of people use those cheap sandblasting type black stuff, black diamond stuff. This is a nice polished sand, so this is all smooth edges. This is great for anything that anybody wants to do stuff with, like stingrays and stuff. But the one I do want to go with, I believe, is going to be this one right here. And this one here is called River. Let's take a look. So this one is the JBL Zanzibar. That's their sand. Natural substrates for any aquarium. Use them immediately. You don't have to rinse it and everything like that. And this is the River one. So you can see in the River one, it's kind of it's got some white tones and stuff, but it's a very, very natural looking substrate. And I think this one here will blend very, very well with the colors that we've got here. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. And with the choice of fish that we've been talking about for this tank, I think this one here in combination with this will show off the fish really, really well. And because it's not bright white like some of those other ones I told you I didn't want, that'll also hopefully inhibit the algae growth that invariably is going to be a problem. So I think we're going to take it here. I got my cart ready. We got 4 boxes. They're all 10 kgs. And 4 boxes of this one here. And I think we're going to go home and see what it looks like. I think it's time we get those fish out of quarantine and get them into this tank. I'm really liking the way it's looking. Let's get them in. Now I have already taken the liberty of going and catching the fish. We still have all 7 of the buffalo heads, and there's that beautiful Synodontis. Now the water parameters from the bucket, they're only going to be in there for a minute. The water parameters of the quarantine tank and the water parameters of the main display tank are pretty much identical. You guys know that I use reverse osmosis water for basically all my things, and I buffer them to what I want them to be. Using reverse osmosis, I can make anything that I want. So let's get these guys in the tank. So we're going to let everybody just settle in. Now normally with a lot of cichlids that are a bit more rambunctious than say these guys, or in this size of a tank, this is a very underpopulated tank. Normally I would then shut the lights off, change the decorations around, but really in this tank there's only that 1 pair of Nanochromis and the 1 single buffalo head, and in a 6 foot by 2 foot footprint with lots and lots of obvious cover. So I'm not really concerned about that whatsoever, and this species is not overly aggressive. So you can see a couple of them there already starting to poke their heads out a little bit. Catfish is going to be gone for a while. I'm sure we'll see her when we go and feed in a few days. But overall, I'm very happy to start having the Congo back together. And with that sand makes it ready for the next inhabitants. So if you guys can remember what those inhabitants are going to be, leave me a comment in the comments down below. And until next time, my friends, thank you for watching.